Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself sitting in a darkened cinema. The screen flickers to life, and you are drawn into the story unfolding before you. Characters appear, landscapes stretch endlessly, tragedies and triumphs play out with an intensity that makes your heart race. And yet, if you were to rise from your seat and trace the light backward, you would find that all of it, the wars, the loves, the faces, comes not from the screen itself, but from a hidden projector at the back of the room. The screen only reflects what the projector casts. The movie is not the source, it is the surface. So, too with the world around you. What you see, touch, and experience feels undeniably solid, as if reality exists outside of you, immutable and absolute. But what if the solidity is as illusory as the images on the screen? What if the entire world you inhabit is at its core a projection of something deeper, your mind, your consciousness, your very being? This is not a metaphor meant to soothe, nor a poetic exaggeration. It is a profound truth echoed by mystics, philosophers, and scientists across the centuries. The world you see is not the world as it is, but the world as you are. From the moment you opened your eyes as a child, your senses began weaving a narrative. Light struck your eyes, sound vibrated through your ears, sensations pressed against your skin, and your mind stitched it all together into the tapestry you call reality. Yet these are not reality itself. They are impressions, interpretations, projections. You have never encountered the world directly. You have only encountered the film your consciousness projects onto the blank canvas of existence. In this sense, reality is less a place you inhabit and more a reflection of the lens through which you perceive. Consider how two people can stand in the same room, witness the same event, and walk away with entirely different experiences. One sees insult where another sees humor. One feels danger where another feels opportunity. The external circumstances remain unchanged, but the projection each person casts upon them transforms the entire reality. In this sense, the world is not fixed but fluid, not objective but participatory. It bends to the contours of your perception. The ancients understood this. The Vedic sages of India declare the material world to be Maya, a grand illusion veiling the eternal. Plato spoke of shadows dancing on the walls of a cave, mistaken for reality by those who never turned to see the fire casting them. Mystics across traditions whispered the same message, that what you take to be absolute truth is but a reflection of the inner light refracted to the prism of mind. Even modern science begins to converge with this view. Neuroscience tells us that what we perceive as color, sound, or solidity are not inherent properties of the external world, but the brain's translations of energy frequencies. Quantum physics hints a universe that does not solidify until observed, as though reality itself waits for the projector of consciousness to bring it into form. If this is so, then the implications are staggering. It means that the anger you see in another's face may be less about them and more about the lens of expectation you hold. It means that the beauty you notice in the world is not just out there, but also in here, a resonance between your inner frequency and the patterns of life. It means that to change the world, you must first change the projector, your beliefs, your thoughts, your state of being. Otherwise, no matter how many times the scene shifts, the story will remain the same, because it is being written from within. This is not to say the external world is meaningless or unreal in the absolute sense. The movie still plays, and you are still immersed in it. But when you mistake the screen for the source, you are forever at the mercy of shadows. You fear what you see, you crave what you see, you despair when the scene darkens. Only when you turn inward and trace the light to its origin do you reclaim authorship. You realize that you are not merely an actor on the stage, but also the one holding the projector, deciding what images will fill the screen. The question, then, is not whether the world is a projection. It is whether you will continue to live as if the projection is all there is. If you cling to the illusion of solidity, you remain trapped in reaction, forever trying to rearrange the images on the screen, while ignoring the projector itself. But if you awaken to the truth, if you recognize the projection for what it is, you gain a freedom unlike any other. You can change not only how you see, but what you see. You can shift from fear to love, from scarcity to abundance, from chaos to harmony, not because the world outside has changed, but because the source within has. This is why the phrase "the world around you is nothing but projection" is not a dismissal of life, but an invitation to live it more deeply. It is not about escaping reality, but engaging it at its true source. It is a call to remember that you are not powerless before the movie playing out around you. You are the light casting it, the awareness animating it, the dreamer shaping the dream. And so, as we step into this exploration, allow yourself to question everything you take for granted. Allow yourself to wonder whether the walls around you, the problems before you, even the very identity you hold, are projections of a deeper self longing to be recognized. For once you see it, truly see it, the world is never the same again. If the world around you is nothing but a projection, then the first question must be, projection of what? To explore this is to step into the architecture of perception itself, to peel back the layers of how consciousness shapes the stage upon which your life unfolds. For the essence of this idea is not simply that the world is illusory, but that it is participatory. You are not merely a spectator of the grand play, but its hidden author, weaving reality through the lens of your mind and the resonance of your being. The first theme that emerges is perception as creation. Every sight, sound, and sensation you believe to be out there is actually assembled in here, within the theater of your nervous system. Light does not come to you as color, but as frequency, translated by your mind into hues that paint the world. Vibrations in the air are not sound until consciousness interprets them. Even solidity itself is not absolute, but perception of forces, fields, and spaces condensed into form by the interpretive machinery of the brain. What you call reality is therefore already one step removed, a translated image projected upon the canvas of awareness. You never encounter the thing in itself, only the projection created by your consciousness. The second theme is the mirror of belief. The projector does not cast images randomly. It reflects the slides you feed it. Beliefs, expectations, and assumptions are the templates through which reality takes shape. If you believe the world to be hostile, your perception will attune to hostility, amplifying every threat while ignoring every act of kindness. If you believe life to be abundant, opportunities seem to bloom before you where others see only scarcity. In this sense, belief is not a passive opinion, but an active force, the film strip placed in the projector that determines what scene appears on the screen of life. A third theme lies in the role of emotion as light. If belief determines the slides, emotion determines the luminosity. A projector with no light shows nothing, just as a life devoid of feeling becomes flat and meaningless. Emotions infuse the projection with vividness, with color and intensity. Love brightens the entire scene, making even ordinary experiences shimmer with meaning. Fear dims the light, casting shadows across every surface. Joy amplifies detail. Despair blurs the edges. Your inner emotional state is not simply a reaction to what you see. It is the very light by which the scene becomes visible. The fourth theme is the veil of the unconscious. Not all projections are chosen deliberately. Much of what you see arises from hidden patterns buried deep in the unconscious mind. Memories, traumas, ancestral imprints, collective beliefs. These hidden slides sit within projector, shaping your world without your awareness. You find yourself repeating the same relationship dynamics, stumbling into the same failures, or facing the same conflicts, and you wonder why the story never changes. Yet the projection continues until the hidden slides are brought into the light, examined, and consciously replaced. Awareness is the act of editing the reel, of reclaiming authorship from the unconscious loops that keep you trapped. The fifth theme is the participatory nature of consciousness. It is not only the individual who projects, but the collective. Entire societies cast projections together, shaping shared realities that feel solid and unquestionable. Cultural narratives about success, identity, morality, and possibility are themselves projections, agreed upon so thoroughly that they masquerade as truth. Yet history shows how quickly these projections shift. What one generation accepts as fact, another dismisses as illusion. To see the world as projection is to recognize that much of what we call reality is consensus, a collective dream we are all helping to sustain. Finally, the theme of liberation arises. If reality is projection, then awakening is the recognition of the projector. Instead of being lost in the movie, you realize you can step back, adjust the film, even change the story altogether. Liberation is not escape from projection, but mastery of it. The ability to choose consciously what slides to place in the reel, what light to shine, what meaning to infuse into the images. It is a shift from being a character trapped in the drama to being the one who knows the drama is being cast by the light of your own awareness. These core themes, perception as creation, belief as template, emotion as light, the unconscious as hidden real, the collective as co-projector, and liberation as recognition, are the pillars of this exploration. They are not abstract philosophies, but living truths woven into every moment of your life. Each time you interpret a gesture, feel an emotion, or hold an assumption, you are adjusting the projection. Each time you awaken to a hidden belief or shift into a state of love, you alter the very world you inhabit. And so the phrase, "the world around you is nothing but projection," is not a dismissal of life, but an invitation to reclaim authorship. It does not mean nothing is real, but that reality is far more fluid, responsive, and intimate than you were taught to believe. The screen of life is not separate from you. It is reflecting you. When reason falters before the enormity of truth, stories step in to carry what cannot be explained in equations or definitions. The notion that the world around you is nothing but projection is not easily held by the linear mind. It resists the grasp of logic, yet allegories, myths, and symbolic narratives allow us to approach this truth sideways, to glimpse it in mirrors and parables, where the hardened intuition can recognize what the intellect alone cannot. Imagine a man living inside a grand theater who has never seen the projector. His entire world is the stage before him. He watches comedies, tragedies, romances, and wars unfold, each scene convincing in its detail. He weeps, he laughs, he despairs, believing every drama to be reality. Then, one day, a beam of light catches his eye, slanting from behind him toward the stage. He turns and sees a machine casting every image, every character, every illusion he once believed was real. The stage is no less beautiful, but now he knows its secret. This is a story of every awakening soul, turning from the stage of appearances to the source of projection. Plato gave us the allegory of the cave. Prisoners chained in darkness, mistaking shadows on the wall for reality. One breaks free, discovers a fire casting the shadows, and eventually emerges into the sunlight of truth. The shadows are projections, the fire a crude projector, the sunlight the ultimate reality of pure awareness. This story has echoed for millennia because it points to the same revelation, that most of what we call reality is a play of light on the walls of our perception. In Hindu tradition, the goddess Maya weaves a veil of illusion, so convincing that even divine beings forget their true nature. The world is her tapestry, shimmering and seductive, a projection of infinite possibility that keeps us spellbound. Only when a veil is lifted through awakening does one see that what appeared solid was dreamlike, that what seemed separate was always one. The myth of Maya is not a dismissal of the world, but a reminder that it is projection, real in its experience, unreal in its permanence. Another narrative emerges in the dream allegory. Many spiritual traditions describe waking life as akin to a dream, a projection of the mind that feels utterly real until you awaken. Think of the vividness of a dream you've had, the colors, the emotions, the convincing landscapes. Within the dream, you did not doubt its reality. Only upon waking did you realize it was a projection of your consciousness. Now imagine, what if this waking world is itself a larger dream, and death or awakening is the moment you realize its projected nature? This is not speculation, but a direct teaching from mystics across cultures, who insist that to awaken in life is to become lucid within the dream. Even modern science offers its own symbolic stories. Consider the hologram, a projection of light that appears three-dimensional yet has no solidity. Some physicists now speculate the universe itself may be holographic, a projection of deeper informational fields. The hologram becomes not only a scientific metaphor, but a spiritual one, reminding us that what appears as solid reality may be nothing more than encoded light taking shape through perception. And then there are the personal symbols, the narratives life itself weaves for you. Perhaps you notice that the same lesson appears again and again, through different people, in different settings, yet always with the same underlying theme. This recurrence is not random. It is projection. The story is cast upon the screen of your life until you recognize it, learn from it, and change the real. In this sense, your entire biography is a symbolic narrative, a film projected by your soul for its own growth and awakening. When we look through these symbolic stories, Plato's cave, Maya's veil, the dream allegory, the hologram, we find the same core message. Reality as you know it is not the source but the surface. It is a projection, a play of light and shadow reflecting something deeper. To awaken is not a destroyed projection, but to recognize it for what it is. To see the stage as a stage, the dream as a dream, the veil as a veil. And in that recognition, you are freed. You can still enjoy the play, still love the characters, still feel the emotions, but you no longer mistake them for absolute truth. You know where the light is coming from. You know you are more than the shadows on the wall. It is one thing to contemplate the notion that the world is a projection, to nod in recognition at the parables of caves and veils, but it is another thing entirely to live from that recognition. The true challenge of this awareness is not intellectual acceptance, but practical embodiment. How does this shift in perception reshape the way you walk through ordinary days, confront hardship, relate to others, and engage with the unfolding story of your own life? The answers are not abstract. They ripple through every aspect of existence. The first transformation arises in how you respond to events. If reality is projection, then the external world is not an immovable adversary, but a reflection of your inner state. The argument with a colleague, the obstacle in your path, the recurring frustration. All of these can be seen less as attacks from outside and more as mirrors held up to your own beliefs, assumptions, and unhealed wounds. This does not mean that suffering is your fault, but it does mean that life is always revealing to you what is within. Integration begins when you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this showing me about my own projection?" Relationships also shift in meaning. The people who delight you and the people who trigger you are both reflections of the slides placed in your projector. The kindness of a stranger may mirror the love you are allowing yourself to feel, while the cruelty of another may expose the fear or self-doubt you still carry. To live with this awareness is not to excuse harmful behavior, but to see even conflict as an opportunity for growth. When you recognize that others are also projecting their own inner worlds, compassion arises naturally. You stop taking everything so personally, realizing that what people show you is often less about you and more about the films playing in their own minds. The practical implication extends to how you approach goals and desires. Many people attempt to rearrange the screen of life, chasing after external conditions in the hope that happiness will follow. But if the world is projection, then changing the screen without adjusting the projector is futile. Integration means turning inward first, aligning your beliefs, clarify your intentions, and embodying the emotional states you wish to see reflected. If you want peace in the world, you cultivate peace within. If you want abundance, you nurture gratitude now. If you want love, you embody love, even before it appears externally. The screen shifts only when the projector changes. Awareness of projection also transforms your relationship with fear. If the world is only a reflection, then fearsome images lose some of their grip. Nightmares on the screen still cause trembling, but you begin to remember that they are shadows cast by your own inner light interacting with hidden slides. This recognition empowers you to face fears not as absolute threats, but as opportunities to uncover and heal what lies beneath them. Even mortality itself begins to soften. For this world of projection, then death is simply the turn off of one reel before another begins. Daily practices can anchor this awareness. Meditation becomes a way of stepping out of the movie for a moment, returning to the still light of projector itself. Journaling becomes a method of noticing recurrent projections, identifying beliefs and emotions that keep showing up on the screen. Even something as simple as mindful breathing becomes a way of reminding yourself that what appears out there is always linked to what is in here. The integration is not about rejecting the world, but about living in it lucidly, like a dreamer who knows they are dreaming. There is also a profound social implication. Collective projections shape cultures, economies, and politics. Fear projected by millions creates societies obsessed with control and division. Hope projected collectively births movements of transformation. To live awake to projection is to recognize your responsibility not only for your personal reality, but for the collective dream. Every thought you nurture, every emotion you amplify, contributes to the shared field in which we all live. Integration means becoming a conscious contributor to the collective projection, choosing to cast light rather than shadow into the dream we are all co-creating. Practical integration does not eliminate struggle, The dream still has storms. The play still has tragedies. The screen still shows images that break your heart. But living with the awareness of projection changes your relationship with all of it. You suffer, but you no longer feel trapped. You grieve, but you sense the deeper pattern at play. You face conflict, but you remember that even conflict is a mirror. In this way, life becomes not easier but deeper. Each moment infused with meaning. Each experience seen as part of a larger unfolding. Ultimately, to integrate this truth is to walk through the world with humility and wonder. Humility, because you realize how much of what you see is shaped by your own lens, and wonder, because you realize that by shifting your inner state, you can transform the very fabric of your experience. You no longer live as a prisoner of the screen, but as a lucid participant in the projection. If you have walked with me through these reflections, then by now the phrase "the world around you is nothing but projection" may feel less like a shocking claim and more like a subtle truth you always sense but never fully articulated. The idea is not here to strip the world of meaning, but to restore it. For when you realize that what you see is not an immutable reality but a reflection of your own inner state, you recover the lost key, authorship. You are no longer condemned to live as a spectator of life's unfolding, but are reminded that the light projecting onto the screen comes from within you. This realization calls you into a new way of living. It is not about denying reality of the world, but about remembering its source. The storm that terrifies, the beauty that overwhelms, the heartbreak that shatters, all are part of the dream, the film, the projection. You can still feel them deeply, still love and grieve and struggle. But now you do so with the awareness that each scene is both real in its experience and illusory in its permanence. The screen is temporary, but the light behind it is eternal, and that light is you. The transformational call is clear. Awaken from passive dreaming into lucid participation. Stop rearranging the shadows on the wall and turn to the fire casting them. Stop believing the movie on the screen has power over you, and remember projector humming quietly in your heart. Begin to choose consciously what beliefs you will feed into it, what emotions you will shine through it, what story you will allow to unfold. This is not spiritual bypassing or escapism. It is the deepest responsibility you can take, because it acknowledges that the world you see begins with you. Imagine the collective power of humanity living this way. If each person recognized their role in projection, wars could no longer be sustained, for no one would feed the reel of fear that makes them inevitable. If people saw that abundance and scarcity are projections of inner states, economies would shift from exploitation to reciprocity. If love were remembered as the true light, relationships would cease to be battlegrounds of projection and become mirrors of awakening. The world would not suddenly become perfect, but would become transparent, revealing the deeper unity hidden beneath the illusions of division. For you personally, the call is intimate and immediate. The next time anger rises, pause and ask, "What is this showing me about the slide of my projector?" The next time beauty brings you to tears, whisper gratitude, for it is reminding you of the light you carry. The next time fear clouds your vision, breathe and remember, the shadows have no power except the power of the light that casts them. In this way, each moment becomes a practice of awakening, a chance to shift from reacting to the screen to adjusting projector. And when despair whispers that life is meaningless, recall this. Projection does not diminish reality. It reveals its miracle. The fact that you can perceive, create, and transform your world from within is not evidence of emptiness, but of immeasurable depth. You are both the dreamer and the dreamed, the viewer and the projector, the actor on the stage and the light that animates it all. What greater meaning could there be than this? That you are here in this very moment, shaping the unfolding of reality itself. So let this not remain a concept. Let it become a way of seeing, a way of living, a way of remembering. Live as though the world around you is projection, because it is. Live as though your beliefs matter, because they do. Live as though love brightens the real, because it always has. Live awake, for the dream is not meant to bind you, but to awaken you to the eternal light that you are. This is your call. Not to flee the projection, not to despise it, but to engage it with awareness, to weave it with intention, to love it as a mirror of your own soul. For when you awaken to truth, the world does not vanish. It transforms. The screen still flickers, the story still unfolds. But now you know, now you see. And once you see, you can never again mistake the shadows for source. The world around you is nothing but a projection, and that is precisely why it is sacred.